Hey, what's up, fulfillment team? I'm Vaha, and we're gonna take you, or should I say, more like I'm gonna take you on a day-by-day life at the start of a journey in the FBA. I have no clue what I'm doing. I am starting completely from the scratch. My background is wide range from the military, owning my own rental car business, and Airbnb. We're not going to discuss none of that. This is solely focused on the FBA world. We're going to try out a bunch of things that I've seen online. So I'm going to sort of kind of be your guinea pig. But we're going to learn and we're going to try to do this with as minimal capital as possible. So that way you guys can follow along and hopefully pick up things that I either done right or wrong. And we'll even create our own community. So we're going to tap in on private labeling, wholesaling, retail arbitrage. We're going to try to tap into all of those worlds if possible. But without further ado, let's get this baby started. I've seen this on so many YouTube videos. You're supposed to snap it. You're supposed to change. Now let's do it the old school way. Screw it. What's going on, FBA fulfillment shippers? It's your boy Vaha, and we're about to get this thing jumping off. This is day one. We're going to talk about all the great things that all you guys have wanted to know about, everything that you guys was like seeing on other YouTube channels that maybe they didn't break it down enough. We're going to make sure that we discuss all three sides. Like I said, I'm your guinea pig. I'm going to do private labeling, wholesaling, and retail arbitrage, right? So I'm gonna do a little of everything, right? I'm not the most knowledgeable person in this field, so I'm not gonna pretend. We're gonna make this try to make it fun. It's kind of hard because, like I said, I'm no longer working in the military. I'm no longer working at the White House. I'm no longer working at Fort Myer, at the Old Guard, any of that, right? So I don't have a team to edit anymore. It's just me. So I have to find a person to come in, video some of this stuff, do some of this stuff. So for now, a lot of this information can be straightforward. Hopefully it's not boring. Hopefully it's knowledgeable. Let's be a little smart. You know what I mean? That's the main reason that we're putting this episode out. So this episode is more giving you a background of what we're going to talk about, how often you'll be able to see me and some ideas. Like I said, we're not going to give up all the gems because then some of us won't make it. Yeah, I'm going to give you as much as possible. I'm going to tell you, here's one secret now. I've already got ungated in Nike and I've already got ungated in Puma, right? It wasn't that hard. And I'm going to shout out Jazz Hustles, right? If you don't follow her, make sure you follow her. Just her, the young 20-year-old, the information she gave me was immaculate. You know, following her stuff is what got me ungated in those. A lot of people's going to say, oh, well, I didn't get it and I didn't. You got to understand, it's a business. It's a business. You know what I mean? They're not going to give a yes or a okay to everybody that puts it in, especially if it looks like a robot wrote it, right? If everybody puts it in the same exact way, then they're going to question and like, hold on. Everybody has the same exact distributor. Everybody has the same exact, you got to be a little more knowledgeable. You know what I mean? It's just like anything else you do in this world. I mean, there's a time for it and there's a time not for it, right? Some people get selected in certain things. Some people don't. Don't get discouraged. Keep getting after it, right? I'm going to try to be as real as possible. There's going to be trolls out there that's going to, oh my gosh, I couldn't get this done. And this, be real with yourself. Understand that this is reality. Give you an example. If I give you a product idea, right? I'm not going to be the person to say, hey, this works all the time. Hey, this is always going to work. No, I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to be like, hey, try this out. If it doesn't work, try something close to it, right? Give you an example. This lighter, for me, I might have been able to catch this while this was hot, and I might have sold 100 million of them, right? And then you try to sell it, and then it doesn't sell as much, right? You're like, oh, I tried to sell it and it didn't sell. I'm not the fault for that. You got to understand, just like anything else in the business, something may be hot one day. It's just like fashion. Then it's not hot the next day. I might have caught it when it was at a good time. You might have caught it at when it's still a good time, but I've already made my marker on it. So it's kind of hard for you to jump in on it. That's why I said I'm not going to give you a product to sell, but we'll go through some ideas of some fields that we can touch. You know what I mean? But I will be your guinea pig. Like I said, I'm gonna take a lot of losses. I'm gonna take a lot of ups, downs. I'm gonna share all of that with you guys. I don't have no no reason to hide anything from you guys. Right? We're gonna be integrity based. Right? Trolls are going to pick up and trolls are going to disseminate everything that we say just like they do anything else on the internet. Oh, da, da, da. But then you're going to also have your supporters like yourself that's going to hit this like button, right? And that's going to hit that subscribe button also, right? So as long as you do those things, you'll be able to catch as much information from me as possible. And I want you to catch as much information as from me as possible because may help a lot of you guys succeed in this game, right? It's never too late, right? They always say it's never too late. Yes, I have a rental car business. Yes, I have Airbnb, but we're gonna allocate only so much money for this startup, and I'm not gonna take any money from that business to get into this business, right? So I had my own personal funding that I decided to put towards this. I wanted to start off with a $500 limit in wholesaling, in the retail arbitrage, and with private labeling. And I'm also going to create a product. Y'all going to get to see me create a product from scratch, right? Um, and we're going to see how we can double that up, right? We're not going to start off with several $100,000 or anything like that. We're going to come up with a couple $100, and then we're going to try to flip it. I may push a little more into the retail because I know when you go into these stores and stuff like that or online, sometimes you got to spend a little more. So the the balance for that might start a little more, maybe somewhere between 1,200 and 2 grand, right? But for now, we're only ordering a couple of things, right? I've already got some stuff bought, so we're kind of on day 3 or 4 with me. I'm only 3 or 4 days in, right? I haven't shipped anything off. I'm also going to tell you a little bit about. I also have an FBA warehouse that I'm utilizing. I'm going to tell you the experience from that. I'm sending stuff to them to see if it's easy for them to ship it out or them to do the work or whatever. And then I'm also doing it here from home with a couple of um well, we'll just say 1 or 2 of my staff members that's going to give me a hand to start this thing off, right? But mostly it's going to be me. You guys going to only probably most of the time see me and maybe one other person. All right. Um, I hope this works out. I hope you guys really tune in and really be realistic about some of the things that we discuss. Like, we're also going to have a Discord where you'll be able to voice your opinion, state some things that work for you, advertise. Maybe if you have a private label, maybe some ideas or things like that. I'm not going to get to every question. I'm going to try to as best as I can. If I have knowledge on it, if I don't, then bear with me. We'll try to get those answers. I'm not your everyday YouTuber. So obviously I'm not gonna do it the way they do. I'm not gonna come on here sound like a geek or a nerd. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm an egghead on everything. I'm gonna show you in my knowledge of what I know in the terms that I know. And then if somebody wants to correct me, they can correct me. Right? You can always have the guys that are stat guys. And they're gonna be, hey, this statistic is supposed to be like this and this and this and that. Got it. You know what I mean? You're a professional at it. Continue to do it your way, right? I'm going to dummy it down for people like myself that I'm a math guy, right? I'm a big math guy. But I also came from an environment where not everything has to sound like you're crazy smart, right? You're not Dexter on Dexter's laboratory. You know, everything doesn't go into a science project, right? I'm the first to tell you I'm not that great with graphs, right? But I just started self teaching myself to get real knowledgeable with graphs. Graphs is pretty simple for the most part. But when you start getting in like crazy statistics on things, right, it is when it gets a little challenging. Let's use those words, right? But as long as you're on this channel, as long as you're following along, we're gonna try to learn this together. We're gonna try to get through this together. We're also gonna try to get a daggone haircut. I'm gonna show you how I ship things out. I'm gonna show you. Well, obviously it's gonna be my first shipping. Print labels out. I bought a label printer. I bought boxes. I've got the defecation plastics. I bought everything just to get this thing started so we could say, all right, let's do this without having nothing or no knowledge. But like I said, I follow a lot of YouTubers, a lot of great ones out there. They interview a lot of people. They'll tell you about their success stories and all that great whoop-de-doo stuff, right? I want to tell you as we're going along with it, right? I'm not selling you a class. I don't have a master class. I don't have any of that stuff. To me, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I have Airbnbs and car rentals, and I don't even sell a class on those. Like it's just too much. It's too much. At the same time as I'm doing this, I'm gonna be going to school, right? Going to school just to get my knowledge up some, right? I'm going to school, doing cyber stuff, things like that, um, just to keep up with AI and everything else. But if you guys like the content, please, 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 please like it, subscribe, make sure you follow along. I'm gonna show you some emails, and I'll show you my screen on. Excuse me. Woo. I'm gonna show you my screen on what it looks like when you do get approved on those ungating. Um, and my way that I did it, after taking somebody else's advice, and I just flipped it into my own little thing and kept it simple. I got ungated, and I'm gonna tell you about some of the stuff I'm trying to get ungated, and if it works or it doesn't work. I've been denied and then turned around and got approved. You know, we're gonna try to do this thing together. We're gonna try to go out. If I can find somebody to film me some days, if I don't have to, if I could use one of my staff members, maybe I will. Um, and we'll try to build a little IG behind it, a little background on it, so they're like, oh, you're able to actually follow me and see me as I'm growing in that field. Um, for this stuff, this FBA stuff, right? So, welcome to Vaha's world. I'm Vaha. I appreciate you guys tuning in, fulfillment shippers, and this is just episode 1. Episode 2, we're gonna try to put out here in a couple of days, and we're gonna try to keep it rolling like that. We'll try to keep episodes coming out as often as I can. Like I said, it's just me, so it's gonna be hard to edit videos. It ain't like my team that I had before when I was in the military. I could turn projects over in one day. Can't do it like that now. Got a household to fulfill and many other things. We'll be doing a lot of filming from down here in my theater. So hopefully it works out. And see you guys in the next episode. Be looking forward in a couple of days.